MSNBC views are they're furious that Chris Hayes actually discussed allegations against Joe Biden, and they actually want Chris Hayes fired for reporting the news because they're saying, hey, Rachel Maddow's not talking about it. Joe and Mika, they're not talking about it. Chris, nobody's talking about it. He didn't give any opinion.
Right.
He just brought up the topic, and these numbskulls that are the real problem. These people are just, sometimes I think about what goes on in their head. I get this Trump hatred syndrome, that it makes them crazy. They hate Trump so much that they do stupid stuff like this. This kid goes on the air, he just talks about Biden. That's all he did.
Right. I mean, look, Chris Hayes is a News of the Day program. This has been News of the Day for over a month at this point, and he finally decided to just, as you said, talk about it. Lay out the story, say this is what we know, this is what has been alleged, this has been Biden's response or lack of response up to that point, and that's it. That was the extent of the depth of that coverage. He did not say one way or another that Tara Reade is absolutely telling the truth or that she is a liar. None of that.
Yeah.
And the audience freaked out because they really, they like to think of themselves as smarter and more well thought out than the Fox News viewers. But when it comes to the tribalism, they are no different.
Yeah, what I love,
they're just on the different side.
What I love about it is they like to think of themselves as the enlightened ones, right? They're not down in the, they're not down in the sewer with the other folks, the deplorables, the brain dead, dull brain deplorables, as Hillary likes to refer to them. They're not like that. They're enlightened. They're educated. They have good jobs. They're members. What a joke. Because when you think about this, it's like this dull brain disease that they can't understand. He didn't even say anything. But MSNBC, of course, is so tied up with Biden. They have this love affair with Biden because of Comcast, right?
Right.
Comcast made a deal with Biden. Don't mess with us if you become president. Don't go after, don't sue us for monopoly. Let us do as much as we want to do as an expansion. So they have this deal. Okay, let's talk about the bigger story. When we talk about this story, I welcome the criticism. I mean, when it goes on Ring of Fire or wherever, and all the numbskulls come in and say, how dare you talk about Biden? He's our only chance. No, he's not our only chance. We have time to do something right now. We can get another candidate. Look, it happens all the time. I think back 1972, Hubert Humphrey, right? Hubert Humphrey wasn't even in the play. But at the convention, Hubert Humphrey comes up, and all of a sudden we have a new candidate in 1972. These idiots that don't have enough sense, they don't have enough historical basis, they don't have enough education, these people who think they're so enlightened, they don't even know that history. We don't need Biden. Get rid of him. Come in with another candidate. But, oh, no, we got to have Biden. What is your take? It's just infuriating to me. It's infuriating.
Well, and what's funny right now is we are seeing Joe Biden kind of put on this facade right now because last Friday, I believe it was, May 1st, he sends a letter to the Secretary of the Senate. And he says, okay, Secretary of the Senate, if in fact a complaint from Tara Reade against me exists, you have record of that. Please do all you can. Let's release it and let's see. And people said, oh, well, obviously, if there was a complaint, he wouldn't be doing that. But the Secretary of the Senate had to come out on Monday and say, I wouldn't be allowed to do this even if a complaint existed. And to me, it got me thinking, a man who was in the Senate for 36 years.
Right.
He knows that.
Exactly.
He knows that she couldn't release that complaint.
It's a red herring.
Right.
It's a red herring. Just like, did you watch the interview with Mika and Joe Biden?
I saw clips of that. It was
agonizing. I wanted to say, God almighty, Mika, go after this guy. But she can't. And Joe can't. And Chris Hayes can't. And Rachel Maddow can't. And nobody on MSNBC can because Phil Griffin, that little twit that runs MSNBC, and Andy Lack, that also runs NBC, is telling him, don't you dare go after Joe Biden. Look at the facts right now. The facts are overwhelming. And all this defense that I heard from him, oh, well, her story hasn't changed. If you take a look, this idea her story's changed, that's something a defense lawyer does in a trial. a defense lawyer tries to make it sound like, oh, well, this witness changed. No, she hasn't changed her story. And she talked to people right after the incident. There's people that say, yes, she shared with us what happened. Joe Biden in this storyline is a thug. We need a candidate that can beat Trump.
Right.
We don't need him now. And there's plenty of history to say, abandon him, go into the convention, let's get a new candidate.